And welcome back to Hobby Life. This time joining us on the set is Alex. Welcome to the show.
Hello,
How
hello.
are
Thank you
you?
for having me.
So he is also a tabletop
Yeah.
player.
Yes.
So we'd like to know when did you start getting interested in the hobby?
Actually, I started doing tabletop games way back in elementary, so that's around 20, 30 years ago.
Oh my
Yeah, with
God.
Magic the Gathering, which you have
Yeah.
covered before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then fairly recently, I went into more board games because I didn't have that much time to actually play
Magic the
Magic the
Gathering
Gathering anymore.
Yeah, it's
competitively.
also very consumed.
Yeah,
time
because
consuming.
comparing board games to the collectible card game, it's more of a, okay, let's play this, and then once it's done, it's done. With
Yeah.
the collectible card games, it's more of a, I'm going to develop this game, and then I'm going to
Yeah.
test it, yeah, and then
Yeah, actually.
I want to change
Goes
this.
through a
And
lot
then,
of trial and error.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
deck building is one
yeah,
thing.
exactly. So that's the main difference.
So,
What-
since you started like since grade school, when did you start board game collecting specifically? 'Cause-
Board games, I started playing the more modern ones.
Yeah.
I think last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is actually a recent hobby of yours.
Yeah, it's fairly recent.
Okay. So,
So what are
we'll-
how many games have you collected in that time?
in that short period of time.
I am an avid collector. I collect toys. I collect figures.
Oh.
So I
have a
collected card
hobbyist.
games. So collecting is somewhat of a vice of mine. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, we
So-
understand.
We understand.
We
Yes.
understand.
so it was a natural thing to collect board games for me. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite games in your collection?
Yes, one of our favorite games in my playgroup is Five Tribes and then Orleans. Yeah.
I
So
haven't-
those are more.
I've only read the titles of that. How do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are more economic games. So my group actually enjoys playing economic games where you manage resources and then you accomplish things, as compared to more thematic games where you act
Battle
out like,
zombies, do
yeah.
role
Oh,
play.
Yes.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So, you mentioned that you have a group. So, can I know what this group is
Yeah.
and what do you guys do?
So our group is Cardboard Club. So the group was started recently, May of this year.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah,
very
it's-
young.
Yeah, it's a very young group, and the main thing about the group is to share the gaming experience with as many people as possible, where you can just contact us and join a session, because we post the schedules on our page, on our group
Oh.
page. So anyone is welcome to join us.
So, it's like you sort of make friends meet each other in a
Yes,
way?
actually,
Oh.
the biggest club, the biggest chapter that we have is the Makati group. They
Uh-huh.
recently went to an EK trip to Enchanted Kingdom.
Oh,
yeah.
Because
Wow.
they are friends outside of the
Oh,
gaming
okay.
group. Yeah, so but they met there. So
That
that's one
sounds
of the
fun.
perks. Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Exactly.
They went to EK and it wasn't because of cars.
Yeah.
And
It
it wasn't to
started
play.
Yeah,
or
their pet name for their group is CC Clingy. So that's Cardboard Club Clingy.
because they do everything together.
Yes,
Oh my god, it's a family already.
So what made? Oh wait, you already answered the question why you started the group. So right now, how many people are in the group?
Right now we are at around, I think, 920 people already. So
Oh.
most of them are active in specific chapters. So like the most active one that we have is in Makati, that plays in Ludo Makati. And then we
okay.
have a chapter in Kamanava, which is North Manila. And we have a chapter in Marikina, where I come from. And yes, and QC. And we even have a chapter in Bulacan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
it
they
went that far.
it went that
Yes.
far basically.
Yes,
Pero they usually just meet at the that's why you go that far, because they meet at a mutual location.
Yes.
right?
So basically, we post an event, an activity, like say, if Bulacan chapter wants to do a playthrough or they want to hold a game day, they just post a schedule and where to meet, and everyone from that area is welcome to join them.
Going to
Oh.
that, how does game day work? Like for competitive card games,
Yeah.
we have like
Tournaments.
tournaments.
Yeah.
So how does it work for other generic
Tabletop,
tabletop
yeah.
games?
For tabletop games, at least for our case, we just actually post a session that, okay, we will meet at this certain location. We'll be bringing a menu of the games. So here are the games that we're going to
Is
play.
it similar to that?
Yeah, like if you see on the screen.
Yeah, actually, that's one of our partner establishments. That's Builtable Co-working. So that's one of the venues that asked us to actually hold a game session in their
so they offered
place.
their location.
Yes, because one of the founders of that company is actually an enthusiast of board games as well.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
And that
so-
was held where?
That was just in show in Mandaluyong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the great thing about that is after we play, we actually network with each other. Oh,
Oh,
what do you
that's-
do?
Yeah.
What's your business? Oh, what job?
I
do
think
you do?
that's one thing that we like
Yeah.
like talking about when you get together for hobbies. Kasi
Yeah,
nga,
exactly.
you invite a lot of friends, you spread
True.
your
And you
ano.
find out that their hobbies are very far from their line of work.
Exactly.
It's also one thing with board games, you're forced to interact.
Mm,
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
you
like-
are.
Yeah, it's not
And
like in
especially
other-
most board game players are introverted people. Am I correct to assume that?
Well,
Based
they are
from the
trying to
group?
bridge that gap because when you play with strangers,
You're forced.
it's actually not an introverted thing to
No,
do,
it's not,
right?
exactly.
So, yeah, so that's the stigma, but it's not really just for introverts. Yeah.
So it actually brings forces people
It
together.
Yeah,
forces
exactly.
people to
Yeah.
talk to each
And to
other.
interact. Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you?
We've had a couple of people who were shy at first, but then once they joined a few sessions, yeah, they're now part of the bigger community and they're active in Facebook. They meet up with some of the other members.
Like a certain conventions, tabletop.
One of the bigger groups, Tabletop Gateway PH, just had their anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was an event that was held for that. So some of the people went. And then for Cardboard Club, we're actually doing Carton Con with some of our
Carton Con.
partners. Yeah. So
This
it's
is a
a
new
Carton convention.
Ah,
sort of like that's a
Ni-
play on
nice.
the
And is there a
title, yeah.
date?
Yeah, the next one, Carton Con 2 will be held on September 16
Oh.
in Builtable Co-working. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the events that we're planning for. It's a crowd-funded event, so we really didn't pitch in a lot of our personal money or it's just really the community trying to build something and make
Something bigger.
Yeah.
Right.
So more or less, how much can we spend to participate?
The tickets for that is around 150 to up to 700 for a group of 4.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
so it's
actually
by
already
groups.
good.
Yeah, because
That's already a good price.
there's actually this great game. It's called what do you call it? It's a submarine game where a group of 4 manage a whole submarine crew. So
Things are gonna get crazy.
yeah. So there will be 2 teams that are going to be pitted against each other. So
4 on 4,
Yeah,
right.
4 on 4, and we're going to do a single elimination tournament for
How
that.
do you choose the games for these
Yeah, these
meetups?
events.
or
Actually,
these
we
events?
just
Yeah.
we just hold the poll, and then guys, what they wanna play.
Uh,
And then if we don't have that game, we're just going to ask who has that copy of the game. Can you attend? And then
okay.
yeah, so that's another benefit of Cardboard Club because you can experience the games that you don't have because other people wanna play them with you.
Yeah, because
actually.
maybe these people
You
don't
can
have
even meet
others.
people na if you can't afford this game, oh, I want this game too, and then you can sort
Yeah.
of share your funding and then
Yeah.
you can buy it for cheaper.
Instead of purchasing something that you don't really know if you're going to like or
Yeah.
if your group is going to like,
so purchase it
better
with the
try
group.
it with some of the
Other
members
person,
first.
Yeah, actually.
We should tell our friends that.
Yeah, we have a lot. We
Yeah.
have a lot of friends here.
Who are
Yeah,
really
everyone's welcome to join the club.
Oh,
We need to
okay.
bring him.
We need to add him to the group then.
Yes.
soon. So, I forgot my question. So, since you've started this, how have you seen things change in the community, in your club? Like from a how many member group?
Within the club, the biggest thing is the interaction. When we started out, it was just I think less than 10 people talking to each other
No.
on Facebook. Yes, because it was really a small group. But then we started getting traction, and then people started resonating with the message
Oh.
that we were trying to put out. So that's where it all became organic. Like for the first Carton Con, we actually just approached role play, which is a
Okay.
venue in Shaw, in
Mhm.
Greenfield. And we asked Jay, the owner of the place, if he's willing to do an event there.
To
He didn't.
host.
Yeah, yes, and he didn't even know me. So
Oh.
yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, because of his love for the community, and with the help of another friend of ours, Mark Padua,
Okay.
who owns board game selling business. The three of us collaborated and came up with the first Carton Con.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and we were able to get around 50 people to come.
That's actually a lot.
Oh,
No?
yeah, that's a big
that's a
number.
lot for a
Think
first
of all the
event.
games you could play in a day.
Yeah, and it wasn't just playing. We had Upstart, which is a kickstarted Filipino game
Oh.
about business. So they came and they demoed the game. We had I think a 40-item auction for the game.
Ah,
So,
yeah.
So it's approaching con actually.
yeah, actually it's a mini con.
It's really
yeah,
a-
it's
Oh.
a very small con for 50 people.
But for something that
Yeah.
started a year, that's already a big leap.
That's actually
for the
really big.
Yeah, yeah. So
For the con.
that's why we're trying to do a bigger one for
The next Carton
yeah, for
Con,
Carton
right?
Con 2 this September. And then hopefully, if we can still manage one more within the year, so I hope we can cap one off with a Christmas party /
Ah, okay. So
something.
that's really gonna make the community grow closer to
Yeah,
one
yeah,
another.
yes.
Actually,
Oh my god, think of it
Christmas-
as a Dungeons and Dragons Christmas
Well,
party.
you know,
Yeah.
It's
it
gonna go
takes
for the whole
too
day.
long to play Dungeons and Dragons.
But they have a whole day.
Actually, there are already systems for Dungeons and Dragons.
to
Actually,
make it short.
yes, within Cardboard Club, we have Dungeons and Dragons mini click, mini group,
Okay.
yes. That's which is headed by Dwayne, our resident GM in Cardboard Club.
Ah.
Yeah, so that's one thing we're trying to explore, to get the Dungeons and Dragons people playing with us and building the
Oh.
community into a bigger thing.
So sadly, that's all the time we have
Alright.
left.
Would you
with
like to talk about Cardboard Club?
Not exactly talk more, but
Oh,
would you like to
advertise.
advertise?
All right,
Yeah.
so everyone is welcome to join Cardboard Club. It's a Facebook group, so feel free to search for us. Just type in Cardboard Club PH and just click join, and then you're in.
Ayun.
Alright, thank you.
So thank you, Alex. That's
Thank
all
you.
the time we have left with him. But we have another segment coming up after this. So stay tuned after the short break, everyone.
All right, thank you.